Hello and welcome back to Just One Question. This is your host Neelakshi Sengupta. Lilette Dubey is one person I love going back to again and again. I love the stories she tells, the way she tells them, and the knowledge she shares. So once again, I reached out to her, hungry to know more. Come with me. Hi Lilette, tell me a story that you recall often. Something that will help us to get to know you better.
So I must tell you a funny story because everyone says, when did you first discover, or when did you do your first play, etc., etc. So I'm sitting next to somebody on a play. People ask me sometimes, when did you discover your love for theatre? What is the first thing you ever did? And I actually didn't remember this story. There was somebody who was sitting next to me, and probably this person was seeing me after half a century. I know it sounds terrible, I sound like a terrible fossil, but anyway. And they said, do you remember me from South Extension in Delhi? And I said, yes. When you don't remember, you'll say, yeah, you look so familiar. I was trying to see where I'd seen you, all my acting skills to the fore. And they said, I bet you don't remember. Anyway, etc., etc. And said, we stayed next to you in South Extension. And on your terrace, you used to have these shows which you did when you were 8 or 9. And about 10, because from 7 to 10 I was in boarding school. And you used to have these two younger siblings hold your white curtain, okay, white sheet. And all the children were called, and I think I used to charge 10 or 20p, if you please. I said I must have been a good producer even then.
Yep, I can see that.
And they used to come and they used to watch me perform, if you please. And that curtain used to come down, and I had sort of directed all this, and I probably did some songs and some song and dance numbers and all, God knows what I was doing. But this person remembered vividly, and it was all very foggy in my mind, but when she told me, I remembered, yes, this is true, I used to do all this.
Quite amazing, huh?
So if I were to see the roots of where it started, probably started there. And then all through school I did a lot of theatre, and when I joined LSR, LSR had not a very active, but a reasonably active once a year kind of production happening. So I was doing those. And then Stephens, luckily at that point, was not co-ed. It went through these funny periods. When Konkona was there, it was co-ed, but when I was there, it was not co-ed. And then much before me, it was co-ed. So, I don't know why they had this peculiar, sometimes they felt very liberal, and then they'd make it co-ed, and then it'd go back to being a boys' college. So at that point it wasn't, and the Shakespeare Society was highly active, and with some wonderfully talented people. Some of my closest friends I made when I was there, including my husband, who I met through theatre, and Siddharth Basu, who I was just telling you about. Then a bunch of us, and then Barry John was casting, and that was the most sort of professional, company there at the point. It was called Yatrik. It had a lot of very, very famous people who went into government and became foreign service and this and that and did a lot of things. But at that point, that was the sort of most, I would say, semi-professional kind of, still it was people who worked in the day and did theatre in the evening, that kind of scenario.
That's very interesting. Tell us more, please. What has changed with time?
So, and frankly, even down the line, it hasn't changed too much. I mean, the only difference is people do television. They're working actors, so they're doing other forms of acting, and theatre as a parallel, as at best, activity. It's still not reached a point when people can do theatre and only theatre and survive by that. So anyway, so I went to audition for this role, and it was a very big thing because I was all of, I think, 17, and I got the part. And I remember I was so thrilled, and I felt very, very sort of grown up. I was 17 or 18, I don't remember. I think it was my second year college, maybe 18. And I felt so blasé and so grown up because it was a set of 3 stories, Neelakshi, and mine was a tennis story. And this guy, Akbar Zahir, had the most gorgeous voice, and he later joined the Foreign Service, I think. And we were this couple playing tennis with another couple in it, and I had to keep saying balls, of course about the balls of the tennis thing, but I felt terribly grown up, like on stage I was being so, and I felt like a real artist, and all that. So it was very cute and very funny.
Too cute, absolutely.
But I felt very delighted because I got the part as an audition, and then I never looked back. because I just developed a taste for theatrical blood, and and I used to tell my husband, I said, it's a passion that has remained alive in me for nearly 50 years. I mean, 45 plus years.
You never cease to amaze me with your stories, Lillete. I can sit with you and keep picking your brain for hours. But let's do take a break for now. And I shall be back soon. Well, that was Lilette Dubey down the memory lane in my podcast. Just one question. And signing off for now is your host, Neelakshi Sargupta. Catch you soon.